Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam all the Vaishnavas, all glories to A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrila Prabhupāda. Today we shall read the book Bhakti, the Art of Eternal Love, from page number 17, Definition of Pure Devotee. The definition of a pure devotee, as given by Rupa Goswami in his Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, can be summarized thus: his service is favorable and is always in relation to Krishna. In order to keep the purity of such Krishna-conscious activities, one must be freed from all the material desires and philosophical speculation. Any desire except for the service of the Lord is called material desire, and philosophical speculation refers to the sort of speculation which ultimately arrives at a conclusion of voidism or impersonalism. This conclusion is useless for a Krishna-conscious person. Only rarely, by philosophical speculation, can one reach the conclusion of worshipping Vasudeva or Krishna. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita itself. The ultimate end of philosophical speculation then must be Krishna. With the understanding that Krishna is everything, the cause of all causes, and that one should therefore surrender unto Him. If this ultimate goal is reached, then philosophical advancement is favorable. But if the conclusion of philosophical speculation is voidism or impersonalism, that is not bhakti. Karma or fruitive activities is sometimes understood to consist of ritualistic activities. There are many persons who are very much attracted by the ritualistic activities described in the Vedas. But if one becomes attracted simply to ritualistic activities without understanding Krishna, his activities are unfavorable to Krishna consciousness. Actually, Krishna consciousness can be based simply on hearing about Krishna, chanting about Him, remembering Him, etc. The Srimad Bhagavatam describes 9 different processes, besides which everything done is unfavorable to Krishna consciousness. Śrila Rupa Goswami has also quoted a definition from the Narada Pancharatra as follows: one should be free from all material designations, and by Krishna consciousness must be cleansed of all material contamination. He should be restored to his pure identity, in which he engages his senses in the service of the proprietor of the senses. So when our senses are engaged for Krishna, the actual proprietor of the senses, that activity is called devotional service. In our conditioned state, our senses are engaged in serving the bodily demands. When the same senses are engaged in the executing the order of Krishna, our activities are called bhakti. As long as one identifies himself as belonging to a certain family, a certain society, or a certain nation, he is said to be covered with designations. When one is fully aware that he does not belong to any family, society, or country, but is eternally related to Krishna, he then realizes that his energy should be employed not in the interest of so-called family, society, or country, but in the interest of Krishna. This is purity of purpose and the platform of pure devotional service in Krishna consciousness. Next subtopic: 6 features of pure bhakti. Next, Rupa Goswami gives 6 unique features of pure devotional service. First one: pure devotional service brings immediate relief from all kinds of material distress. Second, pure devotional service is the beginning of all auspiciousness. Third, pure devotional service automatically puts one in transcendental pleasure. Fourth, Pure devotional service is rarely achieved. Fifth, those in pure devotional service deride even the conception of liberation. Sixth, pure devotional service is the only means to attract Krishna. Krishna is all attractive, but pure devotional service attracts even him. This means that pure devotional service is even transcendentally stronger than Krishna himself, because it is Krishna's internal potency. Krishna consciousness brings relief from all material distress. Explanation: in the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that one should surrender unto Him, giving up all other engagements. The Lord also gives His word there that He will protect surrendered souls from the reactions of all sinful activities. Śrila Rupa Goswami says that the distresses from sinful activities are due both to the sins themselves and to sins committed in our past lives. Generally, one commits sinful activities due to ignorance, but ignorance is no excuse for avoiding the reaction, distresses. Sinful activities are of two kinds: those which are matured and those which are not matured. The sinful activities for which we are suffering at the present moment are called mature. The many sinful activities stored within us for which we have not yet suffered are considered immature. For example, a man may have committed criminal acts but not yet been arrested for them. Now, as soon as he is detected, arrest is awaiting him. Similarly, for some of our sinful activities, we are awaiting distresses in the future. And for others which are matured, we are suffering at the present moment. In this way, there is a chain of sinful activities and their concomitant distresses. And the conditioned soul is suffering life after life due to these sins. He is suffering in the present life the results of sinful activities from his past life, and he is meanwhile creating further sufferings for his future life. Mature sinful activities are exhibited if one is suffering from some chronic disease, if one is suffering from some legal implication, if one is born in a low and degraded family, or if one is uneducated or very ugly. There are many results of past sinful activities for which we are suffering at the present moment, and we may be suffering in the future due to our present sinful activities. But all of these reactions to sinful deeds can immediately be stopped if we take to Krishna consciousness. As evidence for this, Rupa Goswami quotes a verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam 11.14.19. This verse is in connection with Lord Krishna's instruction to Uddhava, where he says, "My dear Uddhava, devotional service unto me is just like a blazing fire that can burn into ashes unlimited fuel supplied to it. The purport is that the blazing fire can burn any amount of fuel to ashes. So devotional service to the Lord in Krishna consciousness can burn up all the fuel of sinful activities. For example, in the Gita, Arjuna thought that fighting was a sinful activity. But Krishna engaged him on the battlefield under his order, and so the fighting became devotional service. Therefore, Arjuna was not subjected to any sinful reaction." Śrila Rupa Goswami quotes a verse from the 3rd canto of Srimad Bhagavatam 3.33.6, in which Devotee addresses her son Kapila Deva, an incarnation of Krishna who taught a type of yoga called Sankhya, and says, "My dear Lord, there are 9 different kinds of devotional service, beginning from hearing and chanting. Anyone who hears about your pastimes, who chants about your glories, who offers you obeisances, who thinks of you and in this way executes any of the 9 kinds of devotional service, even if he is born in a family of dog eaters, the lowest grade of mankind, becomes immediately qualified to perform sacrifices. As such, how is it possible that anyone actually engaged in devotional service in full Krishna consciousness has not become purified? It is not possible. One who is engaged in Krishna consciousness and devotional service has without doubt become freed from all contaminations of material sinful activities. Devotional service therefore has the power to actually nullify all kinds of reactions to sinful deeds. A devotee is nevertheless always alert not to commit any sinful activities. This is his specific qualification as a devotee. Thus, the Srimad Bhagavatam states that by performing devotional service, a person who was born even in a family of a dog eaters may become eligible to take part in the performance of the ritualistic ceremonies recommended in the Vedas. It is implicit in this statement that a person born into a family of dog eaters is generally not fit for performing yajna or sacrifice. The priestly caste in charge of performing these ritualistic ceremonies recommended in the Vedas is called the Brahmana order. Unless one is a Brahmana, he cannot perform these ceremonies. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. I serve Śrila Prabhupada. Thank you, Śrila Prabhupada.